Guys, what's up? How are you? I hope that you guys are having an amazing day today. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Jarrell, and in today's video we're going to be doing my top 3 in each category. It is a lot of makeup that I have here on my desk, so let's go ahead and get started with the video. And of course we're going to be creating a look using some of these products, so yeah, let's go ahead and get started. But before we do, please don't forget to like and of course subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And without further ado, let's get on to the video. All right, so let's go ahead and go into face primers. The first one being the Tatcha one. This one is the mini one, the liquid silk canvas. Absolutely love this one. It's my go-to. That's the one that I reach for whenever I'm trying a new foundation, just because I know that it works really well for my skin. The next one is from Natasha Denona, and this one is the Hygiene Skin Glass Energizing Hydrating Primer Serum. Absolutely beautiful. It makes your skin look so nice and glossy. So whenever I feel like my skin is a little bit dehydrated, this one is the one that I am reaching for. So the one that I use for every single day is this one right here, which is the Ulla Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. This one is like my favorite. I do need to repurchase it just because I'm running really low. But in today's video, I am going to be surprising you guys that I'm not going to be using any of those primers. I am going to be trying this new primer right here from Glowish by Huda Beauty. It is called the Blur Jam, and I have to use this one because I don't want to do a dedicated video on this primer alone. I don't have anything new in my collection that I want to try with you guys, and I want to see how this primer actually works on the skin. I'm going to be using top favorite products that I know work really well on my skin, so I want to see how this primer performs. So I hope that you guys don't mind, but I am going to be using this one. Again, this is the Glowish by Huda Beauty. It is called the Blur Jam Silicone Free Soothing Primer. Let's go ahead and feel it. It does feel really nice and cooling, so it's supposed to like blur your imperfections, your pores, any textures. So it feels really nice and soothing, and it feels a little cooling, not like super cold, but definitely a cooling sensation. So I do have some pores areas around here. I don't feel like it's completely blurring it out, but the skin is looking and feeling really nice and hydrated. Still a little cooling, which is nice. I'm just going to let the primer just settle into the skin and do its thing. And let's go ahead and move on to eyes. The primer that I absolutely love 100% is this one right here from P. Louise. It's just a really nice primer. It just evens out my skin tone on my eyelids. It just creates a really nice canvas, as well as the ABH eyeshadow primer. And the other one that I have here is from MAC, which are like my top 3 primers for the eyes, and this one is in the shade Soft Ochre. Absolutely love it. So I'm just going to grab my Refer brush in 32. I'm going to prime my eyes. So you guys know what's coming next, right? Since we're priming the eyes, you guys know the next is the eyeshadow palette. And here are my top 3 eyeshadow palettes that I absolutely love. And this one is from Patrick Ta, and it is the Major Dimension eyeshadow palette. And this one is the original one. I absolutely love this palette. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. Really neutral shades, warm shades. Love this palette so much. We have the Pat McGrath Mothership 7 Divine Rose. It is really nice and gorgeous. The packaging, I was able to get this one as a limited edition packaging, and I absolutely love these special shades here. It's just really nice and beautiful. You can create really like smoky, sophisticated, everyday kind of looks with this palette. It's definitely more on the cooler side, but the special shades in here is definitely what brings it to a special moment for me, and I don't see myself being without this palette. So yeah, definitely top 3 for sure. And the palette that we're going to be using today is Natasha Denona, and it is the gold palette. I absolutely love this one. It's one of my top favorite palettes of all times. This one is just such an amazing one from her line. Unfortunately, I don't think that it's available, but if it is, I will link it down below in the description area. If you are into like green tones and earthy tones, then this palette is definitely going to be for you. You can do so many looks with this palette, create everyday looks, as well as get a little bit more fun looks with these green tones right here, perfect for fall and I think throughout the whole entire year. So yeah, we're going to be using this one today, and I'm just going to create something simple, nothing too much, just because we have so much to go through. So let me just do a quick look with you guys. So I'm going to take Aria on a fluffy brush like this, and I'm just going to add it to my crease and bring it down on my lower lashes a third of the way. I'm going to take a smaller brush in this darker shade right here. Going to add that to the outer corner and a little bit on the crease and really close to our lash line on the bottom. And I'm just really adding this one to the outer V. Come back with the previous brush and Aria again and just blending the edges. Adding a little bit of a Dijon, and this one is a little bit more mustardy. I'm just going to add it right here in the inner part of our crease and just bringing it a little bit towards what we did here, just like that. And I'm going to use Oro, which is this shade right here in the middle, which is Oro in Spanish, gold. It's definitely a golden shade. I'm just going to add it right on the lid from the inner part. And I'm going to be leaving a little space right here just to add a different shade. I'm going to take Python, which is this green shade right here, and I'm just going to blend it really gently with the gold and the brown shade that we have, barely touching it. All right, so just adding a little bit more of that brown just because we lost it a little bit. Did I say something simple? Did I say something simple? I'm probably sure that I did, but this is no simple stuff. I just can't help myself. All right, so I'm going to use a line chrome right here for the inner corner. And because this does have a little shift for green and gold, it's definitely going to be able to tie the whole look together. And just the inner corner and just bringing it in. I can't help myself. Eyeshadows are definitely my favorite thing to play with. So if you guys thought that we were done, you guys were wrong. The last thing that I'm going to take is this shade right here, which is Aurora or Aurora. And I'm just going to place it right here in between the gold shade and the Python shade. So pretty. Okay, now do you guys understand why this palette is my favorite? It is amazing. All right guys, so I am going to curl my lashes. Top 3 mascaras that I absolutely love: Rare Beauty one, the Patrick Ta one, and the Pat McGrath one. They're just really good. I am going to be using the Rare Beauty one today. By the way, I changed my top because the other one that I was wearing it's just too colorful for a colorful look, in my opinion. I just don't feel comfortable, so I always go back to my black tops. So let's go ahead and talk about some brow products right here. This one right here from Patrick Ta. This gel is the best. So the one that I used to use a lot was from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and the one that I really enjoyed as well was from Benefit, but I haven't reached for those in a very long time. Actually, I ran out of the Benefit one. I don't have that one anymore, the clear gel. I still have the Anastasia Beverly Hills, but I haven't used it in a very long time. This one right here from Patrick Ta is just really good for my brows. It just stays in place the whole entire day, so I don't reach for anything else. So yeah. In regards of any other brow products, I do have this pencil right here from Benefit, and it's the Precisely My Brow, and it is in the shade 6. I really love this one, especially for like everyday, just quick on the go brows. The same thing with my Anastasia Beverly Hills, the Brow Wiz. This one is in the shade dark brown. It is a classic one and still very much something that I reach for in my collection. The newer one that I've been reaching for is this one right here, which is from Rare Beauty. I absolutely hate it, and this one right here from Rare Beauty, but because it is so creamy with a Patrick Ta gel, it just works so perfectly and I absolutely adore it. The other product that I constantly use all the time is this one right here, which is the Granite brow powder, a duo from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I know that it is super dark and intimidating, but my hair is really dark, and here is how the shade looks. I love this. This and the Patrick Ta gel is like my perfect combination. Super easy, really quick brows, and I love that. So those are my top 3, 4, 5 brow products. I am going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills powder, but in a little bit it needs to dry down a little bit more. Let's go ahead and now move on to foundations. The first one is from Giorgio Armani, and this is the Luminous Self Foundation in the shade 6.25. I absolutely love this foundation, and so many people love this foundation. Actually put my mom onto this foundation and she loves it so much. She's like always looking for a dupe just because these are expensive. This is a newer bottle and this is a newer shade that actually matches me a little bit better. I love this foundation. The next three is really new to me, but they just changed the foundation game on me. I've tried many foundations this year, and I have to say that out of all of the foundations that I've tried so far, these three right here are just my favorite ones, and the top three for sure. Like, I can see myself continue on using this foundation, and it's this one right here from Lancome, and it is the Tinted Dual Ultra Wear Care and Glow foundation, and I do have mine in the shade 335W. Really gorgeous. It does have an SPF. Of course, I'm not going to replace my SPF, but I like it that this has an SPF, and it just makes my skin look so nice and glowy, and it just lasts the whole entire day. I do have review on that foundation. I think I'm comparing it to a different one. I don't remember, but I will link that video down below. The next one for everyday foundation, that the more that I use it, the more that I fall in love with it, and it is from Patrick Ta. I have done a full review on this foundation, a wear test, and I've used it in other videos, and I cannot stop using it. It is so gorgeous, and this one is in the shade light medium too. Really nice, beautiful foundation on me, and I just love it so much. It does have a powder, but I do love the foundation a little bit more than the powder itself. The powder is good, it's just not so great for my oily T-zone, but it is good for the rest of my face. And the last foundation that I have been really enjoying is from Haus Labs. I am 100% like convinced that this foundation is going to be in my collection for a very long time. It's just so beautiful on the skin. I am going to use this one right here. I'm going to use 2 pumps, and I love wearing this foundation with a brush. It just gives you such a nice coverage, medium coverage. It makes your skin look really nice and perfected, really beautiful on the skin, but it doesn't make it look like you're wearing a lot of makeup. It does not emphasize any of my pores, any of my textures. It doesn't crease on me. It doesn't like build up. It's a really nice long wearing foundation. It makes your skin look really beautiful the whole entire day, and I am really impressed with this foundation. And this one is in the shade 260 light medium cool. All right, so for concealers, I do have 3 that I use for like different occasions. This one right here is one of them. This is the LYS Triple Fix Full Coverage Concealer. Now, I don't think that it's a full coverage concealer. It gives me a really nice natural finish. It is super hydrating. It looks absolutely beautiful on the skin. It's not full coverage. It's definitely a solid medium coverage. You can build it up, but it's not going to build up to a full coverage in my opinion. The next one that I have is from Makeup Forever, and this one is the Ultra HD Concealer, and I do have mine in the shade 34. This one I mainly use whenever I am not wearing any foundation and I just want like coverage in the areas that I need coverage, and this one is the one that I gravitate to. And the last concealer that I decided to pick for this category is from Pat McGrath. This one's I do have 2 shades in LM13 and 11. Really nice full coverage concealer. These are just amazing. But for today, I am going to go with the LYS Triple Fix Concealer. Oh my goodness, so good. It feels so good on your under eyes. I'm just going to blend it in with the same foundation brush. So let's go ahead and move on to cream bronzers right now, and one of my top 3s is this one right here from Charlotte Tilbury. It is really big, super expensive, but totally worth it in my opinion. I absolutely love this cream bronzer, and it will last you forever. I do have mine in the shade 2 medium. The next one that we have is from LYS, and this one is in the shade Harmony. Really good as well. It's like really nice and pigmented. It just blends to your skin really nicely as well. The next one that we have is from Patrick Ta, and this one is in the shade She Sculpted, and here is a swatch of it. I think that it's a little bit more on the cooler tone. It does give you a little bit of warmth, but it also allows you to like chisel your cheekbones, which I absolutely love that so much. I mean, look at that LYS pigment. That is just insane. But in today's video, we're going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm going to just press it on the skin. For cream blushes, we have a Danessa Myrex in this palette right here. I absolutely love these blushes, especially if you are looking for something that is going to give you that dewiness. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. We also have, again, LYS. LYS has so many good like complexion products, and this one is in the shade Kindness, really nice and gorgeous. And another amazing liquid blush is this one right here from NARS, and this one is in the shade Torrid. I am going to use this one a little bit. I mean, you need like the tiniest amount. Now I'm looking kind of crazy because I have no brows, so let me go ahead and just fix that really quickly. My top 3 loose setting powders, I have to say that, of course, you guys know Laura Mercier, 100% it is my favorite one. I haven't used Laura Mercier in a little bit just because I've been trying to give my other loose setting powders a little bit of love. I actually ran out of the smaller version of this one. They kindly sent this huge one, and I'm so thankful because this one is the original loose setting powder, not the newer one, and I absolutely love it so much. It just makes you look so nice and flawless. I still need to try the newer version for sure, but this one, a classic one, love that one. And the other one is from Huda Beauty. I do have mine in the shade Banana Bread. Love this one. The scent kind of just makes me want to run, but after it goes away, it just looks flawless, and I absolutely love it. The newer one that I am so happy that is in my collection, and definitely top 3 for sure, is from Givenchy, and this one is in the shade Violet Rose, and the shade 3, really nice and gorgeous as well. But for today's video, I am going to be using the Huda Beauty one. I'm going to set my under eyes. So I do have 3 pressed powders. This one is from MAC in the shade Medium Tan. I also have this one right here from Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Medium Love for the rest of my face, and that's the way that I use my pressed powders. This one, you can see that I love it a lot. And this one right here is my newest favorite one, and it's so gorgeous. It is from Kosas, and I do have mine in the shade Comfy. So I am going to just set it on the rest of my face. Like, it sets everything, but it doesn't take the glow away, which I really do like. For the top 3 bronzers that I have here, powder bronzers, I have this one from Charlotte Tilbury, and it is the Airbrush Bronzer in the shade 2 Medium. It is really nice and beautiful. My go-to, the one that I reach for like whenever I just want something quick that I know is going to blend like a dream. The next one that I have here, but you do definitely need to be a little bit light-handed with this one just because it is really pigmented, is from Gucci, and I do have mine in the shade 3. It's really nice and beautiful. It does have like a little sheen to it. It's really nice and gorgeous. It makes you look super nice and bronze, but again, you do have to just be a little careful on the application, but really nice bronzer. My favorite one, and the one that we're going to be using today, is this one right here from Haus Labs. Oh my goodness, I have been like in love. I cannot put it down. It is so gorgeous. I do have mine in the shade Medium Level 6, the perfect bronzer for me. It just takes absolutely no effort whatsoever just to give you that really nice, beautiful glow to your skin. It's like super soft as well, the finish of it, and I cannot get enough of it. And I've talked about this bronzer so much in my channel, so I'm just going to stop. Powder blushes, I do have 3. This one right here is from MAC. What a classic one. Definitely going to be one of my favorites forever just because it is a super easy to use, and this one is in the shade Granite. It is the Glow Play blush. Another one that I really do enjoy is this one right here from Sisley, and I hope that they still have this blush available, but I will link it down below. It is really nice and beautiful. But one of my favorites for this year is this one right here, which is the RMS Beauty blushes. My goodness, it's just to die for, like really gorgeous. I do have another shade. I think I'm gonna go with this one though, which is in the shade Mai Tai. You definitely don't need any highlighters with these blushes. They just give you a gorgeous glow to the skin. So I do have 3 top highlighters here, but I do want to be quite frank with you guys. I have not been really reaching for any highlighters unless I'm like in a special mood, just because the blushes give me enough glow, as well as the glowy bronzers that I've been using, that I have not been reaching for highlighters. But if I do have to pick 3 For this year, the ones that I've been using and reaching for whenever I do reach for highlighter has to be this one right here from Haus Labs, and this one is in the shade Peach Quartz. It's really nice. It does give you a really nice glow to the skin. The other one that I constantly reach for is this one right here from Pat McGrath, and it does have like a pink and gold undertone to it. Really nice and gorgeous. She still has this one available. I don't know why not a lot of people talk about this highlighter. It is one of my favorite Pat McGrath highlighters ever, and that one is just the one that I reach for, especially when I'm doing looks using her eyeshadow palettes. The other one that I have and a lot of people love as well is this one from Dior, and this is the Dior Backstage. It's just a classic one. Really all of the highlighters that you will ever need, and it is just really nice. I am going to use this one, just a little bit of the golden shade right here. I'm gonna add it a little bit on the brow bone. Top 3 lip liners are these 3 right here. We have Urban Decay Uptight, then we have the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Up and Down Tan, and this one from Pat McGrath, which is in the shade Contour. Really beautiful. Love these 3. I am going to use this one from Pat McGrath today. All right, so my top 3 lipsticks formula, I am not going to lie to you guys. I am not really like a lipstick kind of girl. I used to be, but not anymore. But the ones that I really do enjoy whenever I do reach for lipsticks is the Natasha Denona formula. Really nice and beautiful, as well as the Charlotte Tilbury ones. They are just really nice and comfy. Any shades that has to be like really nudie or a peachy, I absolutely love like my brownie nudie kind of shades. This one is in the shade Liron or Liram or Liram. I don't know how you say it, but I love this one right here just because it is really nudie but with a peachy undertone to it. I love this one. So pretty much it just blanks out my lips. So I am going to add a little bit more of this lip liner right here from Pat McGrath. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of lip glosses. And when it comes to lip glosses, I am hands down a lip gloss kind of girl. Love, love, love my Fenty Beauty. This one's right here, like hands down one of my favorite formulas of all time. Fenty Beauty really does lip glosses so well. Love those. And Natasha Denona, I don't understand why people don't like it, but maybe because it's really not like long lasting. But in my opinion, no lip gloss is going to last a very long time. Fenty Beauty does have a little bit of a longer wear when it comes to comparing it to the Natasha Denona, but I really do enjoy the Natasha Denona lip glosses as well. But one of my favorite, and the one that I'm going to be using today, is this one right here from Pat McGrath. This one is one of the newer lip glosses, and it's in the shade Wicked Whisper. It's so good, so good. And I do really enjoy lip glosses so much more than just regular lipsticks, just because it makes your lips look really nice and plump as well as healthy. It kind of like disguises any dryness that you might have as well, which I really do appreciate. So for the top 3 setting sprays, I will have to say that MAC Fix Plus is just a classic. It will always be here in my collection. The same thing goes for this one right here, which is the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. Is just something that I have repurchased over and over and over again, just like the MAC Fix Plus. And this one is the newer one, which is the Airbrush from Charlotte Tilbury, and it is the Airbrush Flawless setting spray. It is really, really good. I actually had the mini one, and I decided to purchase the full size just because I absolutely love it. So this is the one that we're going to be using today. So for the lower lashes, I just went ahead and added a little bit of this green shade here in the outer part, and also the brown shade right here, just to connect everything. I did bring the green shade, which is the lime chrome, right here in the inner corner, and just finish up with some mascara on your bottom lashes. All right guys, so that is it for this video using the top 3 in each category. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and it was fun to watch. But yeah, that is it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your love, your time, and support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you next time. Bye.